Well, hello to my wonderful subscribers. The video that I did while I was painting this parts, I'm sorry that I couldn't share that, but I knocked over the camera. I knocked over the phone. So, I wanted to bring you back in while I do more painting today. I've been thinking a lot about some videos that I've watched. I think I've watched maybe 3.5, maybe 4 of that wonderful wisdom keeper, Keani Leilani. I think his name is. He's from Maui. He is a wisdom keeper and a teacher. And I saw his interviews and I shared them on my post page. Not all of them, but I shared some. It's on Heather Ensworth's YouTube channel. And she looks familiar, but I don't know who she is. I think she's what I read on her YouTube bio was that she's a well-known, I think she was a therapist and an astrologist. A wise, learned person, and somewhat famous, must be academically trained in some way. But anyway, I appreciate her content, as that's where I found this Hawaiian wisdom keeper. I think it's fantastic that he shared that he was raised by his grandparents his first 5 years, as I guess is the traditional way that it is done in the Hawaiian culture, which is fantastic. I'm so thankful that he was. He shares a lot, and some of what he shares that I find could be helpful to me and therefore to you as well. And this really blew my mind, was when he was sharing that our spines carry our Akashic library. And that idea that I've been mulling around with about the oneness and how that pertains to growth now and how is that useful, really rang some bells for me when he said that the Akashic is carried in our spine. Because we keep being told that everything we need is within us. So this seemed like the very next clue that I was looking for. And I'm always amazed at how difficult it is for me sometimes to get my mind to be quiet. But when I hear a really good idea, it's almost as if I can feel all systems go quiet and listen and absorb the knowledge. I think my spirit team kind of puts me to sleep just to make my thinking mind be quiet. Make my analytical mind be still. Oops, I goofed. And I wondered if any of you have had that occur as well, where your team just kind of puts you to sleep, so that you can remember and have recall without interference of the thinking mind. There's nothing wrong with a thinking mind, but if you're wanting to retrieve knowledge that your body is carrying, that is not the place to look. And sometimes over the last couple of years, I wonder sometimes, because I'll ask questions, and I don't know if the answers reflect the answer I'm looking for so much as they do. It's like we're mirrors for each other. And one sparks a memory, and one sparks a remembering. One sparks a knowing, one sparks a question. We all do this for one another in chats and elsewhere in our lives as we continue to wake up. I'm a little bit impatient. Therefore must be immature because I want my intent to reach farther. And then there are times I'm so happy that it doesn't because I'm immature. He spoke of the octopus from another universe, the one before this, the one that's so incomprehensible that we are still recovering from whatever calamity, absolute world-shaking calamity occurred that made us forget. I do have a feeling really strongly lately that the reason we're not aware of everything that we're doing right now is because it would overwhelm us if we knew. It doesn't keep me from wanting to know more. So when he said access your spine and that's your Akashic record, and what he said was the Akashic record is held within the 33 vertebrae of the spine. I extrapolated from that and got very excited. Because we reflect one another so well, especially when we're together, being the soul group that we are. Sometimes we reflect so well that I don't know if what we're reflecting is true information or a reflection. If that makes sense. Just know I want to remember more. I so want to be effective. And I'm curious, sort anyway. I always feel like I'm guarding, like the European eye looks at things differently. If they're told, the European mind is told about the riches within the earth, they want to go there to plumb it, to have it. If my mind doesn't work that way, that seems disrespectful to me. If the world is reflecting what I am within, then I would be shown something so that I could delve in myself and find that corresponding space. And when I try really hard to do that, I just get put to sleep, which tells me I need to slow down or something. I think soft other things come in instead. Like, this is going to sound so goofy. I think, for instance, that we might reach a level of awareness, a saturation of awareness, where we become aware, where we become aware of our angelic selves. Is it because we were schooled in Venus? Venus, the planet of beauty? Is it a memory or a knowing? Not sure. But it felt very true. In native cultures, we know we are related. We don't see star nations as aliens, we see them as star nations. Some cousins. They get excited just like we do. They want to spark our remembering. They want us to succeed at this grand experiment as we spiral more creator down into our bodies, into our thinking, into our feelings, into our doings. They want us to succeed in this experiment, but I think sometimes they get excited just like we do. They're not allowed to interfere. That's why we have spirit teams to guide and guard us. There's a part of me that always feels like I'm guarding Earth from prying eyes, from ones who would just plumb and take without respect, without even caring about the deeper stories, just wanting to have. That makes me sad, but I also feel like, who the heck am I to feel that way? Why do I feel that way? Must be a reason. I used to wonder if I'd failed spectacularly and that's why I was here. But I don't think in those fatalistic terms anymore. I think we're all here learning. We might be masters on other levels, but here it's kind of even. I think we profoundly forget. So in Keani Milani, the Maui wisdom keeper man, when he spoke of octopus being the universe before this one, before the cataclysmic event, I think that's when we lost our way. And we're finding our Lemuria way. So if everything we need is inside of us, then that means Lemuria is too. And my high heart is opening, along with this feeling of urgency, so that must be where it is kept in my body. So when he said the bit about the spine, I held that close. I ordered mugwort essential oil because I think it was from Kelly at Kelly Healer, that it's to helps us remember our dreamings. So I got some right away. I also got some seeds so I can grow it. Meanwhile, the essential oil, so that I could begin to remember more. And I kind of have this thing like, share it if it is helpful. And I thought this might be helpful to others who are also feeling this strong desire to remember, to be of service and remember. Others who might be curious about how do we embody our clairs more fully, so that when we need to have knowledge, we can trust the knowledge that we feel coming up from ourselves. Trust probably takes practice. A boost would certainly be welcome. In these interviews that Keone did with Heather Ensworth feel just like that. Very helpful about remembering. There was one meditation that he shared where one holds their hands on the top of their head and asks the male self who can often be found in the analytical part of the brain. In holding one's palms like that and asking, am I in imminent danger? What does one see through one's eyes? And I would say, well, I see paints and water and photos and seed packets and painting tubes, and no, I am not in imminent danger. And with that awareness, all the while breathing in Creator, pulling the male self down into the high heart, opening that high heart bigger. Say, all right, let me give you this task. Look to my body. Look to the health and welfare of my health in this body. Giving that male self something to do. Because, I used to think, I even have a coffee cup somewhere in the kitchen that says, down with the patriarchy. I will help destroy the patriarchy. Can't wait till the patriarchy is done deal. But I was wrong. I'm happy to be wrong on this because we all carry that within us. It's just that the trauma of the last world ending was so great that we are having to complete the trauma of loss now and claim ourselves. And when we do that, then perhaps the knowledge that we've carried will come and rise to the fore, rise to the top where we can remember it. Not by abandoning half ourselves, but by loving acceptance and appreciation and compassion like we've never felt before. Because we have to get past the they and the them and move more toward an us. That level of the Ho'oponopono prayer, that level of compassion will allow us to remember more of who we are. That's my thinking. As long as there is breath in my body, I will be trying to remember. I will be remembering. How about that? Not trying. There is no try, there is do, like Yoda says. It's very, very true. As long as there is breath in my body, I want to fulfill my purpose. If that is to encourage others, so be it, I can do that. If that is to fly planes, well, we might be in trouble, because I don't know how to do that. But I happily applaud those that do. I applaud those that are much more sure of themselves than I am. I applaud their confidence. And I don't need to knock them down for me to be stronger. That isn't the way this works. I think we've all learned that. And I don't need to destroy the patriarchy anymore. For a while I thought as soon as we switch more to matriarchy than as we are now, the patriarchy actually needs healing. I know that many of the men in our lives do. It's so much dumped on them and blamed on them. Wherever we extend compassion and applaud right behavior and encourage it, the more healing can occur for all of us, because we have that inside of us too. So far when I've tried to meditate on my spine, I just keep going to sleep. So maybe if I just keep at it, it will cool my excitement. I'm older and 63 now, but when I have new ideas, I still get just as excited as I did when I was a kid. And I still kind of throw myself into things with great enthusiasm. What I lack in skill, I make up for in enthusiasm. I bet many of us do that. That's okay. Mother loves us. She loves us. Our ancestors love us. They know it well. These feelings. Some people say we've been here many times. Sometimes I feel like I have been here since the beginning. But I don't know yet. I'm not even sure it matters. I wonder if our chakras are making noise. If all together we're creating a song similar to the music of the spheres as we anchor Diamond Light. As we think of humanity as a whole. As we let go of things that do not serve. Maybe we're creating a song. Maybe that song is a key that unlocks further mysteries. I don't know if I will know in my lifetime. I hope so. I sure hope so. The trees behind our home. Imagine they've been there for maybe 100 years. Definitely longer than me. The trees hold wisdom. The trees have seen it all. They carry history too, just like we do. And since everything on earth is fulfilling its purpose, save us, it makes sense to create a strong relationship with them. Ask for their help and guidance and thank them for their benevolence and their protection and their beauty. Perhaps if we are in close relationship with nature, this will help us to fulfill our purpose. One note at a time. So many things I wonder about. I bet we all do. So I thank you. I thank you for wondering these things with me, and I really appreciate you stopping by. And I hope you're having a wonderful day. I think this is done. Thank you so much. Bye for now.